Can someone tell me why I don't consistently have a cup of coffee with me in like every single one of my videos? Because it just matches the vibe. Fun fact, if you do not know, I have a coffee tattoo on my wrist because I love coffee so much, so. Hey friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden, and welcome to the solo games that I enjoyed in the month of April. So these are all of the games that I played solo in April. I did additionally play Hadrian's Wall a few times, but I just don't even mention that anymore because I just play it so often. But I am going to be talking about all 7 games today. But first, I do want to chat about the game that was last month's solo challenge. So this is April's solo challenge, and then we are going to get into the solo challenge for the month of May, which if you haven't gone and seen, I did a wrap up of the solo challenge from last month. I did a live stream on Monday of this week. So if you guys want to go and check that out, I will put it up here if I can, or actually up here. I don't know if you can put live streams up here, but if I can, it'll be there. If I couldn't, it's not there. But yes, I did announce the May solo challenge game in that video at like the end of the live stream. So yes, anyways, without further ado, if you guys want to see all of the games that I played solo in the month of April, just keep on watching. If you enjoy, give this video a big thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden, and comment down below all the games that you guys played in the month of April. I do quickly want to show you guys a few games that I received in the mail, which are solo only games. I am so excited. I backed this one. This is one of the small amount of games that I backed on Kickstarter, and that is The Legacy of You. I am so excited for this game. It is in the same series as Hadrian's Wall, which you guys know how much I love that. And this is a solo only resettable campaign game. So I am so excited to dive in to Legacy of You. This is from Garfield Games, and I backed this on Kickstarter late last year, and it already arrived, so very happy about that one. I also did get some promo cards here for this is for Raiders of Scythia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I really want to try Raiders of Scythia, so I might end up grabbing that one eventually. But then I also did get a few for Hadrian's Wall, which I'm very excited. We have some new fate cards. I think like you shuffle these into the fate cards, and some of them actually attack 2 different cohorts at the same time, so that is pretty crazy. Then there's also like favors, I believe, that are put into here. I don't really know why the purple meeples are now half red, but if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it's probably because you've never played Hadrian's Wall. But very excited for those. And then there's also the Performers little promo pack for Hadrian's Wall as well, where it adds in the actor, which is you get victory points per completed performances, which I typically go for the performances. And then also I received this from 25th Century Games. This is Resist. This is another solo only game. I've heard a ton of good things about this one, so huge shout out to 25th Century Games for sending this over. I am super excited to dive into this one. I don't even know how it plays, but I did, like I said, hear a lot of good things. So yes, those were just 2 solo only games that I just happened to get in the mail yesterday, right before I was going to film this video. So yes, anyways, let's get into this video, shall we? All right, so like I mentioned, I did want to chat about the April solo challenge game, and that was 3 Sisters. Over on my Patreon, I always do a poll at the end of every single month for the next month's solo challenge. So this was the winner for April, and I did like just a poll of a bunch of like springtime, kind of like gardening, nature kind of games, and 3 Sisters was the winner. I played 3 Sisters a total of, I think, 6 times in April. I definitely played, the month before was Cascadia, and I played Cascadia like 12 times. It was crazy, but I played 3 Sisters 6 times. It's a little bit of a bigger game than Cascadia in my opinion, but I love Three Sisters so much. It is just a slightly crunchier roll and write than you are used to. There are 2 pages, and you in the solo variant are going against Farmer Edith, and basically wherever she drafts a die, she's going to be like scratching out some of your crops and scratching out some things in your shed. So she's kind of just getting in your way. You're not really having to do too much for her, which I really enjoy in a solo variant. And you're just, you know, planting your crops, making your crops grow, getting some perennials, some flowers, working in the forest with the fruit trees. I guess it's not really a forest, it's an orchard, but you got your fruits on the trees, and then you got your apiary in your shed, and it's just a very fun game. So I ended up playing that a ton, and then I also had the opportunity to play with the weather expansion, which I really enjoyed. It just adds a little bit of weather to each round, where it gives you like different things that cannot happen or will happen on that specific round. So that is Three Sisters. There's also another expansion, I believe it's called like the Rock Garden expansion, and I'm hoping to get that eventually in the future. But as for the game for May, I actually did a print and play month. So I put in the Patreon, which if you guys do not know, the Board Game Garden does have a Patreon. If you want to support the garden in some sort of financial way and you're able to do so, definitely go and check that out. I would appreciate it so much, and the Patreon is truly the best way to help me out with continuing to make content for you guys. If you guys do not know, I started to do the Board Game Garden full time. I took a little bit of a step away from my small business and am putting all of my efforts into making content here on YouTube. So yes, it's been a lot of fun, and I really have the patrons to thank for that. So huge shout out to you guys. And yeah, anyways, I asked the patrons what print and play game they wanted to play. And I put a little poll of about 6 different print and play, specifically roll and writes. I enjoy print and play roll and writes. And the winner is one that I'm very excited about. This is called A Wayfarer's Tale. So this is a whole stack of a bunch of different sheets, and they are all laminated, so I'm going to try not to like blind you. But A Wayfarer's Tale is, I believe, it's a roll and write, obviously, but I do believe that it is like a campaign. So you have all of these different maps that you go through. There are maps 1 through 4, I believe. We got map 3, we got map 4, and then we have some like additional sheets that you play with. And I'm just very excited. There's like a solo play kind of sheet here as well. And yeah, very excited to hop into A Wayfarer's Tale. I've heard a ton of good things about it. It was up on Kickstarter, and you can actually go and purchase it now on their website. I will put the website down below. I believe it's like Bright something games. I will put the link down below if you guys want to go and check that out. And if you want to participate in the solo challenge for the month of May, I'm very excited to try out A Wayfarer's Tale. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into all of the physical games now. Shall we? Shall we? All right, so starting off with a game that I played pretty early on this month, but that is Maglev Metro. This was sent over by Bezier Games, so huge shout out to them. But I did play this on stream for the first time, and I didn't think I would enjoy this as much as I did. This is a route builder, pick up and deliver game, but you are picking up passengers in your train and then getting them to a specific spot and then dropping them off. And then the passengers that you get actually go onto your board, and based off of where you place those passengers on this board, there's a bunch of different places. You can place them in a certain spot to get more workers. You can place them in a specific spot to get different colored workers. You can place them in specific spots to get your actions to be like larger and more powerful. You can place your workers in spots that are going to get you victory points at the end of the game. You also have some like objective cards and stuff. I really enjoyed this one, and I did not expect to as much as I did. It is very fun. I love the action. I actually think maybe it's that I enjoy pick up and deliver games more than I think, because I just recently, this past month, multiplayer played Imperial Spells in Steam, which I really enjoyed that one as well. And then I've chatted about how much I enjoy Merchants of the Dark Road too, so maybe I just enjoy pick up and deliver games more than I think I do. But yeah, Maglev Metro was great. I definitely recommend the solo variant. It's super, super easy. Basically, all you're doing is before your turn, you are just taking one of the meeples out of the bag and placing it to the side to create like the AI's different meeples, and all of those meeples are going to get the AI victory points at the end of the game. Super simple. You like don't even have to think about it, barely. It's just kind of a part of your turn. You just take a meeple out of the bag, put it in a pile, and then you don't even have to think about it. There's a little bit of thought with like which meeples they're getting and how many points they're gonna get at the end of the game. I will say I don't think I beat this. I might have like just barely or almost beat it, but it's a pretty challenging game, and I've talked about it in the past. I enjoy challenging games, so I'm very, very excited to get this one back to the table. I also did try Suburbia last month from Bezier Games, and I do think I prefer Maglev Metro over Suburbia. So yes, that is Maglev Metro. They also just recently came out with a bunch of different maps. I believe the like new maps for Maglev Metro, the Kickstarter, like just recently fulfilled. So I'm excited to see more about those, and I might actually pick them up. But yes, that is Maglev Metro. Moving on to the next game. This is a game that we've had in our collection forever. I've chatted about it many times, but I've never played it solo with this specific expansion. So the game that I'm talking about is Viticulture, and I ended up playing Viticulture solo with the Tuscany expansion, which Francis and I just recently, like a month or two ago, we tried Viticulture with the Tuscany expansion for the first time, and we absolutely loved it. Everyone in the past have said like, oh, you have to try it with the Tuscany expansion. Like, I will never play it again without the Tuscany expansion. And really that is true. Like, it is such an easy expansion to just integrate into the game. And it's not even any more difficult to do the solo with this expansion. So it really just adds 3 simple modules to the game. You can choose to add all 3 of them. You could choose to add 1 or 2. But the only thing with this that I noticed was with the solo of Viticulture with Tuscany is in Tuscany, there is a board that has this a little bit of like area majority map in the corner. And basically at the beginning of the game, the AI gets a certain amount of those stars in that area majority map, and you throughout the game are just trying to get more of those stars onto that map. But I found it very, very difficult to find opportunities to place my workers in order to place stars there. So the AI definitely ended up beating me by a ton because I wasn't able to add enough stars to that map, because I couldn't find, I'm pretty sure like on the board, there was only 1 spot that I could place a worker every single year in order to place a star. And really in the solo game, you're playing maybe like 7, I think it's 7 different years, so 7 full rounds. So I only had 7 opportunities to place stars, and I'm pretty sure the AI had like 7 stars. So if I didn't place a worker on that spot specifically every single year, I wasn't going to be able to beat the AI in all of those, or even just like match the AI, because I would have to get more stars than the AI in order to even get victory points for that map. So I do think that the next time that I play this solo, I'll probably skip playing with that specific board or with that area majority map. I do think that in the rules it says with a 2-player game you can choose at the beginning of the game with your opponent to either play with the map or not with the map. So I do think that it should be an option in the solo play to say I'm going to play with the map or I'm not going to play with the map. I didn't see it anywhere in the solo rules that like you could do that, but I'm just going to house rule it and say I'm not going to play with the map, because that was way too difficult, especially because like I only had those certain amount of years to place a worker there, and the AI sometimes placed a worker there. So there was like no chance in me being able to get enough stars to even like go over the amount that the AI had or even match the amount. So anyways, I still really, really enjoyed Tuscany. The little area majority map is just a small portion of it, and I just love Viticulture so much. It's still probably in my top 10, and with the Tuscany expansion, it is probably going to stay there. So yes, that is Viticulture with the Tuscany expansion. Moving on to another Stonemaier game. This is a game that I actually filmed a playthrough for. If you guys haven't gone and seen it, I put up my first ever solo playthrough, my first filmed solo playthrough. I've obviously done a ton of solo playthroughs over on Twitch, and I've done a few live here on YouTube as well, but this was like a full-on setup, have 2 cameras going, filmed playthrough of Tapestry, and I was really proud of that video. So if you guys haven't gone and checked it out, I will put it up here, and I will definitely be doing more solo playthroughs in the future. Definitely let me know what games you guys want to see me film playthroughs of. But yes, Tapestry is the one that I started off with. I have been loving Tapestry. I'm not going to talk your ears off again about it, but I do quickly want to chat about the solo variant in this, because before I filmed that playthrough, I'd only played this multiplayer, so it was my first time playing it solo, and the solo variant in this game is a little bit more involved than your typical, or the typical ones that I go for. There is 2 cards that you're having to flip, and then there are 2 opponents that you are going against. One opponent is, you know, the AI, and then the other opponent is the Shadow Empire, I believe. The Shadow Empire is really just there to move up tracks and kind of help out the AI. And then the AI is going to be scoring points and playing against you. They're also going to be going up tracks, doing some different things. The Shadow Empire goes up the track but never gets any of the benefits, whereas the AI is actually going up tracks and getting benefits for certain things. They're also getting benefits for cards they're acquiring, they're getting benefits for buildings that they're acquiring, all things like that. The Shadow Empire does help the AI get the buildings as well. So yes, I really enjoyed the solo variant. Like I said, it's a little bit more involved than I typically go for, but it was well worth it because it is such a fantastic game, and I'm so happy that I did learn it solo so that now I can put this to the table, or get this to the table and play it solo whenever I want, whenever I have time, so that I can try out more of the civilizations. That's the main part of the reason why I wanted to learn this solo and play it solo, is because I want more opportunities to be able to play with the different civilizations and get better at this game. This is the kind of game, and because I've been like so obsessed with it, I just really want to play this and really get down to like getting better at the game and really figuring out the strategy and trying to get a better score. And I'm in like the Facebook group for Tapestry, and it is just fantastic to see like how good people are at this game, and like, it's just so cool. So that is Tapestry. I really enjoyed the solo of that. I also played with the Futures and Fantasies expansion, or Fantasies and Futures expansion, there we go. And eventually in the future, I do think that I want to get the other 2 expansions. So that is Tapestry. Moving into the next one. This is a little bit of a more simple game, but I really enjoyed this game, and I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did, and I really want to play it again, but that is Explorers. So I have seen this game around a lot. It is from Ravensburger, and this was sent to me by a community member, a Board Game Garden community member, so huge thank you to you. You know who you are. I appreciate you so much, and I'm so excited that I was able to play this one. But this is Explorers. This is a flip and write, or flip and explore game. Basically you have this little dry erase board, and you have these different tiles that you're placing into specific spots. You have 4 map tiles that are randomly chosen and placed to make a full map, and then you have 3 different like objective tiles that you put in. There are a bunch of different sides, but I went for like the intro one, and I loved this game. Basically, you are just flipping over a tile. It's going to have 2 different terrain types. The map is made out of a bunch of different squares of a bunch of different terrain types. You're gonna flip a tile. You're either gonna choose the terrain type that is closest to you and X out 3 of those terrain types, or I believe you're gonna pick the other one and you're only able to X out 2? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what it is. I played this a little bit earlier in the month, but yes, sometimes there's like different ones that are like half terrain, so you can choose which one you want to do. And basically you're just drawing these X's and exploring this map in order to get to certain things, to score victory points in different ways. There's like diamonds, which are really just, you're trying to collect as many diamonds to get more and more victory points by the end of the game. There's a little bit of set collection as well, with like fish and carrots and apples. I believe those are the 3. And then in the center, there are different keys that you're trying to get, in order to open these like tombs, I believe, or like treasure chests. There are 4 of them that you're trying to get, and the earlier that you get them in the solo game, the more points they're going to be. So if you're not able to get them in the first round, you have to X off the top amount, so you're not going to get that full victory point amount. If you get it in the second, you get just a slightly less, and then slightly less. And I just really enjoy this. It's a very, very simple game, super easy game to get to the table, and I was pleasantly surprised by it, and I'm super, super excited to get to play it some more. So that is Explorers. Moving on to the next game. This one, wow, this experience that I had with this game, I cannot stop thinking about. I loved this experience so, so much, and I'm so excited to get the final copy of this and play more of the solo, I guess, scenarios in it, but that is Wild Gardens. So I ended up getting to play this on stream. Rose Gauntlet Games did sponsor a live stream, and I was able to kind of give like a first look of the solo variant, or the solo campaign, solo scenario aspect of the game. And like I said, I can't stop thinking about this experience. That stream was probably one of my favorite streams I have ever had over on Twitch, because this solo like variant scenario was just so memorable and so like immersive. Basically in Wild Gardens, you are going out and foraging for ingredients, you are cooking some recipes and then serving those recipes to people. And the solo variant is basically looking into the story behind all of these different characters and the lore of Wild Gardens, and you have just this like narrative driven game of like trying to specifically get things for one specific card, and then once you do that, you get to like read this little story about what's happening, and you're like going through this little story. And oh my goodness, it was just so, so much fun, and I loved it, and I definitely recommend going and checking out Wild Gardens. It is unfortunately finished over on BackerKit, but I do think that they might have late pledges open, so you can grab it if it's something that you think you'd be interested in. But yeah, the solo variant was just so immersive, and I loved it, and so like adorable and like just wholesome. It was great. And then lastly, for the month of April, I got a game to the table that I've been wanting to play for a very long time. This is a game that unfortunately is out of print, so I apologize, but I was able to find this at a bring and buy at a local con that I went to, and that is Ex Libris. So this is published by Renegade Game Studios. I don't know if they're ever going to come out with this again, but Renegade Game Studios also makes a game called Athenium Mystic Library, and if this kind of vibe is something that you are looking for, unfortunately you can't get this one, but Athenium Mystic Library is definitely similar. This one is more card driven, whereas Athenium Mystic Library is like a tile laying game, but you're kind of doing similar things with putting different colored books into a shelf. It's very, very fun. I do want to play Athenium Mystic Library again. That one doesn't have a solo variant, but there is a fan-made one. So yes, anyways, back to Ex Libris. This is a very fun game. I definitely didn't like it as much as I was hoping I would like it. It is very, very challenging. And I do think that Nick Murphy from the Brothers Murphy, he always talks about this one, and I do think that he has mentioned that this is a very difficult game. I still think I beat it, but just by like the slightest bit, or maybe I did beat it by quite a lot. I just remember that the AI ended up getting like a ton of books. The AI is kind of representing the public library, so they are kind of just getting books. They don't really care the organization or the like just amount of books that they have, but you are trying to get this like really nice coordinated collection of books in your library, and you're trying to put them in alphabetical order, and you're trying to get a bunch of different things. You have like asymmetric powers, which is very fun. You pick like an asymmetric library at the beginning of the game, which the one that I chose was obviously a garden themed library. It was very, very cute. And then with that asymmetric library, you get like a meeple that has like a special ability as well. But it is a mix of a worker placement game, because you're going to have a few workers that you're going to be placing on some different locations, and those locations are going to allow you to do different things. They're going to allow you to get or acquire some different cards and play cards down into your library. You're trying to get your shelves in alphabetical order, but then you're also trying to collect certain book types. You have like a focus book type, so you're trying to collect those books. There's also a banned book type, so you're trying not to get any of those books in your bookshelves. And I really enjoyed this game, but it definitely wasn't one that like blew me out of the water. It's one that I'm going to keep in the collection, obviously, because it is out of print, and I really love the theme of this, and the gameplay was fun. I think Nick Murphy definitely like, he really pumped this up and like hyped it up, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a fantastic game. It's gonna be one of my favorite solo games ever. And it wasn't as amazing as I thought, but I do want to play it more. It might grow on me, we will see, but I really enjoyed it still, and I'm happy that I do have it in the collection. So that is Ex Libris. All right, friends, so that's going to be everything for today's solo games that I enjoyed in the month of April. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button if you get to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. And yeah, comment down below any games that you played solo in the month of April. I'd love to chat down there. I will mention right now I am a little bit behind on comments, but I'm hoping this coming week I will catch up on those. I'll be able to chat with you guys down in the comments, so definitely do that, and I will, I promise, get back to your comments eventually, but I'm just a little bit behind on everything right now, so stick with me, I'll get there. But yes, it was a good month of gaming, and I'm super, super excited for the coming months. I'm excited to get Legacy of You to the table, as well as Resist, and then obviously I'm going to be playing a ton of A Wayfarer's Tale. So yeah, if you guys want to participate in that, like I said, I will have the link to A Wayfarer's Tale down below. I think it's pretty affordable, and I'm excited to be able to have more of you participate in this month's challenge. So yeah, also join the Discord if you've yet to do so. We do have a full-on solo challenge Discord channel where everyone chats about their plays every single month. So yeah, anyways, I love you guys so, so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, you are my reason to smile, and I will see you guys in the next board game video. Bye, friends.